Okay, so this is a islands game, and it involves, or it's the last set of the Hera Colosseum that I participated in. I was in like group 39, so definitely on the lower side of the elo range. And I'm playing against my final opponent. His name is Lathcore Gamer, and both of us were coming into this undefeated actually. And I actually beat him first game with Britain's in a Britain's mirror on Arabia. So this is game 2. We're playing on his home map, which is Islands. And actually, right off the cuff, you saw a couple mistakes. I made like 2 houses, but somehow the shift queuing didn't work, and like I didn't complete the house, so that gave me some idle time. And then you saw probably a couple of villagers walk like the wrong way. It was just like a very bad start for me. And then I also killed my second sheep a little bit early. But anyway, aside from that shitty start, if we talk about matchups, he is Italians. Italians are very strong on water. They have dock techs. Let's look at the tech tree real quick. They have dock university technologies cost less, fishing ships cost less, and then advancing to, isn't there something about advancing to Imperial? Oh, just advancing to any next age costs a little bit less. So that makes them really strong on water maps because it allows them to sort of get the tech advantage on you sort of almost at all times. They can go fire ships into fire galleys faster. They can research like careening, which makes your ships more resilient to arrows and stuff faster, and then advancing the next stage costing less just means they can click up, right, without as many resources, and that's really good for like really expensive research like Castle and Imperial Age. I picked Vikings. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with naval maps, but the Vikings are pretty good because they have cheaper ships. The wheelbarrow handcart probably doesn't count as much if you're going heavy into fishing eco instead of farm eco. But the main reason I chose them was because I have longbows, and I always got, I don't have a lot of experience playing with them, but they're really strong, is my understanding, because they shoot multiple arrows. They're kind of similar to a war galley in terms of the HP and attack, but the difference is they shoot multiple arrows, which makes it nice against opposing war galleys, right? Because then the pierce armor is less of a factor, and the same applies when you're fighting against fire ships, as they have, you can see 6 pierce armor here. So it's kind of like a Chuko Nu on water, and my game plan was to get as fast to longbows as possible, and then because we're on separate islands, the general way to play is you go heavy on wood and gold. You don't need as many farms for food usually. Heavy on wood and gold, get to Castle Age, control the water, and then eventually, we don't have to rush into this, but eventually build castles on these like extra resources, and then thinking about maybe a landing if you've got really superiority on the waterfront. So the build order is a little bit different, or actually very different than like Arabia or any other land map. You're supposed to actually dock as early as possible, and that involves putting something like 6 or so on wood. Here I think I actually messed up my build order, and actually Vikings docks cost less, so I probably shouldn't have gone 5 to wood immediately. But anyway, this villager is supposed to build a house, and then build a dock, and then like another house or something is the main build order. And in the meanwhile, I was supposed to get like 6 on wood, and then just only need 6 on food underneath the TC to get continuous villager production. And the luring the boar and all that stuff is pretty normal. So I made a bunch of mistakes here. I probably should have lured the boar earlier. It would have gotten me to a faster feudal age. And then like one of the things to grapple with is like, what do you do once you run out of food? Do you build farms or not? And I think the way you're supposed to play this is go for like the extra resources, like the hunt. I'm not good enough to push the deer in this game, but you can send your villagers to to get the deer, and then maybe the berries after that. So it's not definitely a lot of free food on this map that all you need is like a mill for. And I've had enough idle time plus my poor start with the houses to be officially one villager behind, as you can see, 15 versus 16. And you can see both of us are docked. I went for a side dock. I didn't want to do a forward dock because Vikings don't get fire galleys, excuse me, not fire ships. Yeah, this whole line they don't get access to, which makes it dangerous because a fire ship completely destroys a galley if it can catch up to it. And so, you know, if you got docks here and the opponent's got docks here, right, then it's very easy for the fire ships just to kind of chase your galleys, and it's a ton of micro to have to worry about galleys. So my idea was get a side dock, and then build enough galleys until I have a mass, and then once you have like 5 or 6, you can start like 2-shotting or maybe 3-shotting fire galleys, and you can kind of do like the hit and run stuff that you can imagine. It's very similar to archers versus infantry on land. So once I'm going to speed up a little bit. So once we go to feudal age, and I think he clicks up a little bit faster than me just because of his better start. Complete bad set point. For somehow my set point ended up like way over here. So this fishing ship is doing absolutely nothing for me. So what I'm supposed to do is get more on wood, like up to like something like 14. It's hard to be disciplined in something like this, but like the more you can get on wood, the better, because you're gonna need to defend your farming or your fishing eco with fire galleys or fire ships. And the other thing that I made a mistake on was to invest in too many fishing ships. I've got 5 here. He's got, looks like 3. And the difference that makes is it prevents me from making another dock. And it's kind of like, what would you rather have? Like extra fishing ships just for a little bit of extra food, or 2 docks like he has that can give you security because they can pump out fire ships like way faster than I can. So this was my mistake. I shouldn't have made this many fishing ships because it's kind of like, what can I do with the food, right? Like I'm not going to be able to do much with the food. It'll help with the castle age time, of course, but if he comes in with a navy here and I just lose all my fishing ships, then this is like a bad investment. So anyway, so here you can see me milling the deer and keeping the scout kind of active. Like you're always kind of worried about like a landing. I've practiced with this with a friend before, and he landed on my side of the island. I didn't know about it until it was too late. And you can see the opponent actually scouting with the fishing ship. He's probably very confused and wondering where my dock is, going all the way around the back. He's faster to feudal age than me by just a little bit, but we're on similar build counts. And I'm just getting my second dock up. So this is where, like, you know, my poor execution of the build order is starting to hurt me, because he's got 2 docks already, 3 docks, and he's pumping out fire ships. And at this point, I'm so far behind that it'll be very hard for me to catch up if I were to try to make equal number of fire ships. So you see how this develops. And then the other thing is you want to send a couple to gold, because all the ships cost a little bit of gold. So here's his scouting. He sees my dock. He finally knows where to hit. It was kind of unfortunate to circle all the way around. He went kind of like the long way. And I didn't want to show my hand here. Like I can only counter fire ships with 2 ways, right? Galleys or demolition ships. So I think I like queued up my stuff within my own dock to make sure that I don't like show my hand first. But it's really funny. You can see his fishing ship just hanging out. This is obviously where he's gonna hit, and here's like kind of where I start struggling, because I don't have enough docks and enough galley mass yet. I need really 5 or 6, preferably with fletching, to be able to really deal damage. So here he comes, and I like know he's coming, so I kind of like start preemptively running my fishing ships away. Fishing ships are faster than fire ships. You can see them kind of outrunning them actually. So that's kind of helpful. And if I had Japanese fishing ships, they would like almost never die, which would be nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm starting to fall behind here because I'm not able to fish. I'm still collecting hunt though, which is always good. And then I start kind of building a dock way back here. This is the nice part about, I think, one of my plays is he doesn't see that dock until much later, right? It's hard because it's such a big island and fire ships are pretty slow. It's hard for him to catch everything. So he's just like hanging out here, seeing where my fishing ships went. I'm trying to kite him because I got 5 galleys now, still without fletching, so that's not good. 6 attack, 4 pierce armor. They're only doing 2 damage. Right, that's not good because these things have like a lot of HP. But anyway, I think there's maybe some bonus damage that galleys deal. But anyway, so he pincers me because he can, and it gets really bad for me. This is really smart of him. I should have probably like kept pushing this way because you always want to be on one side and never get trapped. But anyway, so he's got the 3 dock stuff going on. He's fishing safely at home. I'm starting to transfer onto farms now because I know I've sort of lost water already, and some of these galleys jettison too late, and it's just bad. Like the KD ratio doesn't look pretty right now. 6 kills for him, 0 kills for me. But here's a smart thing I do. I redock and I build a tower, and the tower's just out of range. I think this fire ships have 1 range, or no, 2 range. Interesting. So I guess they could have hit my tower. But anyway, I'm trying to keep this dock safe and sort of have like a new starting ground. And towers do a fair amount of damage, and they're really resilient. So like it's a pretty good thing to have in it. And then I'm just being cheeky with a couple demolition rafts. Meanwhile, on his island, he's thinking about Castle Age. Let's look at his resources. He's probably got a pretty good amount of food. Oh, actually no, not that much food. And then a ton of gold, as you can expect. He probably made a mistake here. You don't need 15 on gold. Probably like 10 at max, even to sustain 3 dock production. But he's got a lot of wood, which is always good because you're building stuff. And I think one of the things that maybe he got a little tunnel vision is like not transitioning into a little bit of farm eco. This is really smart by him though, building all of these freaking houses so that they serve as almost like outposts. If you look at his Fog of War, he sees pretty much everything going on his island. And you can kind of see me doing a little bit of the same, though not to the same extent. But anyway, he's destroying my docks, killing my fishing eco. But funnily enough, he, I think, neglects. Oh, he clicks Castle Age. Okay, so we click Castle Age around the same time. Actually, I'm maybe like 15-30 seconds behind him. But I've transitioned to farm eco. You know, Vikings got that free wheelbarrow, so their farmers are really good. And our villager count is actually not that bad. Like, I've saved my fishing ships. I didn't make them all die, so they're still fishing. He's got more fishing eco than me and more docks. And I'm just trying to, you know, get back up. And remember, like, at the beginning of this, we talked about the game plan, which is try to get to longboats. If I have a win condition on water if I can have enough longboats. I've seen, like, enough pro games, I guess, where they've had really good success with the longboats, where it can really carry you. And so that's my focus. He's going to Castle Age. He's transitioning into galleys, and you can see him picking up fletching. This one is a mistake, picking up the archer armor. Ships actually don't benefit from archer armor. You have to research careening for that. Where's careening? Yep, careening makes ships less vulnerable with +1 pierce armor. So that's his mistake. He researched like the wrong thing. But anyway, he's actually got a nice combination, right? He like fire ships in the front to deal, you know, melee damage effectively, and then in the back having galleys to support, and you can see him docking a 4th dock. And meanwhile, I'm playing this completely defensively. All my stuff is in the back, right? So having stuff in the back is good for defender's advantage. I could probably have even more docks here. I have five docks, and I need to actually probably build a couple of fishing ships, honestly. But anyway, most important thing is to get the water back. If I can control the water back, then I don't worry about, like, in the late game where galleys can, like, have enough range to start hitting your wood lines and stuff. That's, like, the thing I'm fearing the most on this map. So as soon as I hit Castle Age, I think, let's see, it was like maybe a minute behind, or what's technology? Like half a minute behind his in Castle Age. He's doing the right thing. He's researching the tech that'll upgrade his fire ships into fire galleys into fire ships, excuse me. And now they're a lot. All his units are stronger, right? Like they also look bigger and beefier, which is kind of funny. Though war galleys are technically not that much stronger than a normal galley. Like so everything's bigger and beefier. He's got 19 military. And he's starting to push me with fire. He knows I have stuff here, right? Because he's seen it. He just doesn't know how much stuff I have back there. So he sent a scout, sort of, to kind of see what I've got. He sees I have galleys and not galleons yet. He's probably feeling pretty confident because fire ships absolutely demolished galleys. And my mistake, so you see 3 galleys pop out of my docks there. Man, the freaking, like, with some of the buildings where you have to scroll to like the next page to hit to queue up the units, like sometimes I really mess it up, and I feel like it's sometimes unpredictable. I need to play around with it more, but for the longest time I was like not building the right unit. I was like, you see this like queue. I got 5 docks, but like only one of them building longboats and the rest are for some weird reason building galleys. I have to clean up my hotkeys a lot better. So building the wrong unit, you can see me canceling stuff, you can see me researching Bach and Arrow, that's good for any ranged ships. And now I feel pretty confident, because again, with the extra shooting arrows from the longboats, just take a look at this fight. So in theory, he's got the better units if they get up close, but I can just kite him, and my longboats, man, they be doing work. They just shoot like the multiple streams of arrows, and then I think I start. Do I get a university yet? Doesn't look like it. I need a university so that they have ballistics, and it's a little bit like you have to worry less about micro. But yeah, it's crazy. So from earlier where it was like 19 to 6, I fully committed to water. I'm just producing nothing but water. Whereas he felt, I guess, pretty secure, so he went 2 town center, boom. And he's not producing. And now I have a nice mass. This mass is going to be pretty hard to kill now, even though it has some silly galley shenanigans going on. I don't know what these galleys are doing up here, other than just to make sure, I guess, I haven't redocked. But my goal, you can see me transferring to stone. I don't think he's gone stone yet. Or, okay, he's starting to go on stone, but he doesn't have a mining camp. So that's inefficient. I'm going on stone. My second town center, I placed it on stone just because I really want a castle. If I can get a castle forward, that can secure my dock positions here, and then I don't have to worry. Like, he's got like his units spread out across my island just to kind of see where I'm going and expanding, but I'm going to be able to take control of the water because of the longboats, right? They're so good. They're not countered. They're really not countered by either galleys or fire ships. Once you have enough mass. So like the only thing you could have gone for is maybe like a lot more galleys than me, but I mean, look at the KD ratio. I've completely evened it up, and I've got a larger military. So my goal is to reestablish control, and I wasn't seeing that many galleys. Like technically this is a little bit of an ambitious castle, because if he's got galleys like parked here, then like it'll be hard to have the villagers build a castle, but I felt like I was doing enough damage and distracting him enough that I could dock the front, or that I can castle the front. So, and this is probably not smart, just building 3 villagers, but anyway, he's kind of like in a dilemma here. Like he feels like he has to kill my army, but really what he probably should do is not invest so much, probably defend his own shorelines, and then get up to Imperial where he can get maybe like something like, I don't know, a combination of the galleons and fast fire ships to take over the Viking longboats. But man, longboats, man, I really didn't, I wasn't a believer. They're so good. We're on similar vill count, you can see. I'm actually starting to think about imp at this point. I don't have a, oh, I do have a market. So I'm thinking about imp because I have all my Viking farming has really paid off, and a couple of food in the back has helped. So I click imp, look at his eco. A lot of gold. Again, this stems from like having 15 on gold like in the feudal age. not enough fishing, not enough farmers or anything, right? He's really counting on fish to be his sole source of food income, and that's not smart. You have to diversify, otherwise you'll be floating all these extra resources and not getting your superior tech advantage. But anyway, we've got 20 longboats. I've just completely annihilated his navy. This seems like a desperate move. He's trying to get onto my side with a landing. Usually you land when you're ahead, right? And when you're not ahead, landing probably won't accomplish it. Like, it's true that I don't have like a barracks yet and all that, but what is he gonna do with these 4 villagers? He didn't scout my town center there actually, so he's like, oh shit, he's got a town center there. Guess I can't go there. And now I know he's there, and I'm like, okay, well, I can fight with vills even. Like, it's not the worst. And then meanwhile, I'm still controlling the side. Like, I have a really good foothold in this like little bay area, I guess. So this thing goes to shit for him. It's kind of silly. I mean, I probably shouldn't have committed as many villagers, but and I think I lose 1 or 2. But this is a complete flop from a landing perspective. And then, yeah, the other thing that Viking longboats can do, they can destroy buildings because they're like Chuko Nu almost on the water. Look at they just do so much damage. And I didn't want to like one thing I was trying to do was not always shoot at buildings, because if you do that, it'll tell them where your army is at any given time, right? Like, having a surprise factor is always good. And so I'm building another castle here. I was thinking about just securing this gold in case he somehow pressures it. But I felt pretty secure overall. And then this castle can help me like dock a couple more here if I wanted to go back into fishing eco. This has got to be, these 2 docks have got to be the worst docks I've ever made. Both of them, for some reason, eject the longboats like on the side where it's like trapped between the docks, and I didn't realize until I made way too many, so it was hilarious. But anyway, they like it's just some funny shenanigans going on. And now I'm researching elite longboat. Let's go back to my view. Elite longboat with bracer. And I should probably also get careening just so that I can do even more. But like, look, these guys can't even get close. They just get completely mowed down, like it's anybody's business. And from my view, what I was trying to be careful with was, number 1, keeping this army alive is the most important thing, right? It's my bread and butter. I don't want to run into like a huge army and surprise and just all die. But at the same time, I know I've got the tech advantage. So, like, let me pause here. So there's a couple things I need to do. I need to continue expanding, claim more of my island just to kind of protect it. Maybe more castles or something here. Claim my island. Make sure I have a safe and secure source of gold and wood. Those are the most important resources. But at the same time, I'm thinking about disrupting his eco, which I really haven't done much damage to since the beginning of the game. Like, I've killed his military. Right, I've got a good KD ratio and all that, so you can maybe argue that's kind of equivalent to dealing damage to eco, but those are just military numbers, right? I have to kill villagers or fishing to really do damage, and I know I have a pretty good army or navy to do it. So that's like number 1 priority, to find out where his eco is and try to kill as much of it as I can. And I've got 10 range. 10 range can definitely deal a lot of damage. So the other thing I'm thinking about is teching. Continue to build massing launch ships for sure, but now I got to think about teching into something that'll let me destroy like the front of his base. And there's only 2 ways to do that. You can castle the middle and then tread them down from that castle, or you can build the cannon galleons, and then because of their ability to take down buildings, they're sort of like bombard cannons except they're on water. That's the other way to start destroying him, right? Because like, maintaining the naval superiority is what enables you to bring the siege options in. So that's what I'm thinking about. Again, this is low elo. Like, this isn't, like, nothing is clean. So I did not know about this army that he had, or this navy. And I was worried that I would run into something, or like part of me was worried that I would run into something, but the other part of me was kind of like, well, I'll probably take a favorable engagement because I'm in Imperial Age with elite longbows. And he's stuck in Castle Age right now. So he, I think, was trying to deal a little damage, but he did a pretty good job kind of maintaining this mass and making sure it doesn't run into my death ball of galleons. But I've got 39. Half of them are stuck in the bay. I've got a lot of sort of navy going on, and I really didn't. I killed a couple of fishing ships here, but it didn't deal that much damage. He's pretty comfortable sitting in the middle and not getting range, right? And he got a nice castle up in front, so that was smart. All I can do really is shoot houses, so that's not that helpful. But then here comes the big fight that sort of determines the game, as you'll see. And again, you see a transport ship carrying, I think it's villagers, I assume. Just villagers. It's another sort of desperate move, right? Like he's... the transport ship is not... Like, what is he trying to accomplish? He can either try to land on my base or try to... I guess he's trying to castle here without enough stone. So that's not helpful. He just got into Imperial Age. Like, all this stuff is just, honestly, just kind of distracting to him. It's not like... It's sort of like a desperation move. And then I had my original army that circumnavigated his island. And then I have my new navy that I built from like my remaining docks, and I deleted my like docks that was like choking up like 5 galleys or 5 longships. So I would just want to pincer him at this point, and I do a pretty bad job pincering because I keep hitting houses on the way. But my idea is, like, I've got, in theory, a better navy because he shouldn't have all the tech upgrades yet because I got to Imperial first. If I kill his navy now, then I should really secure everything. And then if I own the water, then I feel really comfortable getting onto this island and then even teching into something like cannon galleons. And so you can see me actually prepare a transport ship, my first transport ship of the game, to get onto this island to do that. So let's keep watching. So honestly, this navy might have held its own against this navy, but just to really kind of pincer him like he pincered me at the beginning of the game, like boom, it's like just so much damage, man. Not even close. He's running now. Longboats stack, so it's kind of deceptive sometimes how strong like a little chunk of longboats are. They stack really well because they have small, like, I guess, sizes in the game. And he's got 4 military. I got 39. He's building more war galleys and researching chemistry. That's about all he can do. And up to this point, he's still got, you know, look at the score for 8,000, 4,000. A lot of that is just because of the killing that I did, like the KD ratio. And he calls it GG. GG, well played. And then I was just getting ready after that big fight to transport onto this island and claim the stone and gold there. I usually want to go for this one just because the stone is nice. There's only limited stone. I think I already chewed through all my stone on my main island. Oh no, there's some here. So yeah, like, this was really fun. It was a pretty satisfying conclusion to the Hera dojo. I participated in the first one, like it was a big learning experience for me. The second one I felt a lot cleaner. I actually ended up winning every set, and then there was an administrative win because one person couldn't like schedule the game with me. So I'm hoping to just keep building on this. Like the Hidden Cup maps were so fun to play. They're so different than like I'm really used to Arabia and maybe like maps like Hideout or something, but this is just so different. It forced me out of my comfort zone to learn water maps, hybrid maps, like Bay, and it was just fun just kind of getting to play like a tournament, you know, like every single week it was like a league style setting. And the one thing I didn't cover, I didn't have time, was that one transport ship that he landed here. I think he actually redocked or re-landed with that transport ship here, built a tower. Tower doesn't do anything. It was a last-ditch effort. I think it's just trying to deny something. But like, as soon as I see a landing, I'm gonna build my barracks. You know, I'm gonna start being prepared to fight it. And and I can even like kill the tower with like my navy. So yeah, land units are not sort of meta in this game unless you really secure a good foothold on their side of the base. Thank you for listening.